post in the Discord.
Probably let people know that I'm doing this.
Yeah, for sure. No. Yeah, definitely.
In my Discord. Are you tweeting anything? I know you tweeted something like
I'll tweet
actually
again. Yeah, I'll just say that we're live.
I will retweet.
Okay. Oh, that's such. Yeah, we can take some. It's fine if we take a little bit of time just to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, sweet. Okay. That should be good. All right. I think we're ready to get going.
Good.
Yeah. So what's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Let me just retweet whatever you put out real
Oh
quick, and
no. Yeah,
then
no worries.
you'll have my full undivided
No,
attention.
it should be interesting. I've never done
All
it
right.
live before, so.
Yeah. This is my first time doing anything like this, so
All right.
I'm
Well.
excited and maybe a little anxious just because I don't know what to expect really. I mean, I know kind of what to expect because I mean I've watched most of your episodes at this point.
All right. Let me. You know what? Let me make my bed a little bit neater because. Okay. I don't have Kirby here today.
Rip.
So I got a new controller, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Is it a JP White?
It's a JP White. Yep.
That's what I use.
And
JP
yeah.
White twins.
Let's go. We got the underscore OOT and we got the controllers.
I have a couple other controllers too, but this is the one I use for OT all the time. I have a emerald and a orange and a black. They're all pretty decent. JP White's definitely the best one I have though.
It feels really good. Like
It's nice. Super
I
nice.
I started I practiced I was actually I was practicing today. It was the Pripsy plunge.
Oh yeah?
And yeah. I felt like good about it. Like I the main thing I was practicing was actually like changing S unbuffered. And I felt pretty good about it, dude. Like it's I felt like um I needed to like pull down on the control stick a little bit. It was almost like pulling down the control stick and then kind of just like
Yeah, you kind of have to stay on like either down left, down or
yeah.
down right, if you want to consistently angle change. And kind of the secret, yeah, stay just in that little tiny circle around the stick.
Yeah, and I guess from doing tricks, like you kind of just get better at it, you know, like over time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, maybe next time I do GSR, I'll have to break out the
Some
wasteland.
Hesses.
Yeah, some
Wasteland
Hesses.
Hess.
Do I
Wasteland
mean,
Hess.
do you like in longer categories? You basically just Hess everywhere, right? As long as you have the chew count and the bomb count.
Yeah, as long as you're not constricted by bombs or shoes, and as long as it's actually faster, because I mean, sometimes it might not be worth it just because like it's like kind of a long distance, but like if you fail the Hess, you're just losing time, so you might as well just backwalk.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, if you have the bomb count and it's worth it, the Hess, you just Hess.
So you started running in 2019, right? July
Yeah,
2019.
July 2019 is when I picked up the game.
So why then? Like, what made you get into it?
So what actually made me start learning OOT speedrunning is, well, actually we have to back up to 2013 first, because 2013 is when I first started like paying attention to OOT speedrunning. And I watched Narcissa, mainly as Narcissa is what I watched back then, and I actually learned Ganondorf on an emulator in 2013.
Nice.
And it was pretty hype. I was really, really fascinated by it. And then it's been a long time since then, but I don't remember why I just dropped it. I was huge into like League and what other multiplayer games back then, so that's kind of just what I spent most of my time on. But fast forward to 2019, I was doing a casual playthrough of Twilight Princess actually, and I had been watching GDQ that week. And I saw a Twilight Princess speedrun with I don't know if you're familiar with them at all.
Not really. No. Oh, you mean?
So
Yeah.
the Twilight Princess speedruns.
Yeah. No, not really.
So in at least the GameCube version, they have a glitch where they pull out Gale Boomerang, and they throw it, and then if you're over a gap or going up a slope, you can jump slash while the boomerang is returning to you, and you get this huge like jump slash and can carry you really far distances. So I was like, that's pretty cool. That seems pretty doable. Let me try it. So I did it. And I was like, this is fucking cool. And I was like, wait, I already know another glitch in another game. OOT. I know OOT wrong word. It's been a while, but I just have to refresh my memory on it pretty much. And I was like, okay, let me try this. So I learned the rest of the route, and actually started with Gim. I never did CAC route. Because Gim looked really cool to me. It was like just around when Torge made his like Gim tutorial too.
Yeah.
So I looked up like the 80% world record by Torge at the time. I forget exactly what the time was, but it was like 17, low 17. This was just before he had his sub 17 run. And I saw him doing Gim, and I was like, wait, that's fucking cool. And so I went into the Discord, and I found a Discord on like speedrun.com or whatever. And I asked about Gim, and they were like, okay, George made a tutorial. I was like, okay. But what do I run this on? They were like, oh, you can run on Wii, you can run on N64, but you can't do Game on N64. And I was like, I only have this as a GameCube collector's edition. And I was like, and they're like, oh, that works. You can do the glitch on there. I was like, sick. So I did the glitch on there. I actually learned it without a practice ROM. I just loaded up a new file and went all the way to Deku and just started doing Gim. It took me like a full day of trying to get it once, probably.
To get Gim, just like the vine clip and vine grab and all that.
Yeah, just the whole sequence, getting it once.
Yeah.
Took like a solid day of work.
It's difficult, man.
It is difficult. And GameCube is a terrible version.
Now,
as I now know.
The collector's edition, that is the disc that has Majora's Mask and the Wind Waker demo on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and like Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so that is the first version that I played on, and the only version I played on for a while. I got that in 2003 when I was 5 or 6 years old. 6 years old, I guess. And that's where it began for me, for sure. I think it's funny, like, I feel so old when I know that, like, I played a version that had the Wind Waker demo on it, you know? Like, I always think that's funny.
Very funny.
They also have these, like, little movies in there. These, like, little, like, videos that I thought were really cool.
They were cool.
But then I remember going into Wind Waker, the demo, and just getting the pig all mad, and it would like attack you and stuff.
I remember being scared shitless of those guys.
Yeah. Um, yeah, for sure. Yeah, GameCube. I mean, I think we're in an interesting like generation where we. I think a lot of us started on GameCube, but now we view GameCube as like kind of a haunted like platform to play on.
I think it's still a wonderful platform, just not for OOT.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've.
I have a lot of good memories on GameCube games.
Oh no, I mean, dude, like GameCube games are still some of my favorites. Like I love PlayStation and stuff. But I've never really been like a huge PC person. And it always makes me upset that like the local GameStop or Best Buy like doesn't sell like retro stuff. Like, and we used to have a shop. It actually just went out of business that sold a bunch of retro games, but it's just hard to get that stuff anymore. Like, dude, getting to get a GameCube controller, you gotta spend $80 on Amazon. Like, it's tough.
It's pretty expensive.
I want to. This is something that like I can't get out off my head because I went through your should we say your resume?
Your resume
last night.
My speedrun.com profile.
Your speedrun.com profile. Yeah, for sure. And it's absurd. You have so across OOT, you have 16 runs, 16 top 20 runs, and you have 7 top 10s. So notably, you have 6th in all dungeons, no SRM. You have 8th in MST, and you have 8th in defeat Ganon, no SRM. I think it's crazy. First of all, the covering the whole leaderboards, I think most people see is just like so difficult. I mean, I think like I don't know. Are there any other runners? I know Danny like has a pretty good cover of a lot of the categories, but like,
pretty much everything.
Are there any? Yeah, I mean, because like, not only have you only been running for 2 years, but like, it's just like there are not many people that cover that much ground. Like, what? Like, I don't even know what question to ask here. Like, what has been your secret for learning so much information? Is it something that you feel like is like a certain skill that you have just to like absorb a lot of information and retain that information? How have you, in simpler terms, how have you gotten so good so fast?
I do have kind of a gift for picking up things pretty quickly. But that's definitely not all of it. Part of it is just because I really like learning as much about a certain thing once I get interested. So for OOT, I started with any percent of the time. Now defeat Ganon, no SRM, right? The game route. Started with that, and then I got my time down to like a 19-minute time or something like that, and I was like, okay, it's time to get out of the forest. I want to see what else this game has to offer.
I just got there. I got to that point.
Yeah, so you're where I was. Pretty similar timeline too. Just so you know.
Okay.
So the second category I actually picked up was all dungeons, no SRM. And if you know anything about that category, it's not very beginner friendly.
No, it's not. I know a little bit, and I know that it's not.
Yeah. So that category was a beast to learn, and let me tell you, it did not take me two days to learn that one. It took me 2 days to learn Hundo, but it did not take me 2 days to learn all dungeons SRM. Part of it is like I've just been compounding knowledge. The more you learn, the easier it is to learn other stuff. Especially in this game, like a lot of it kind of builds on itself. Like if you understand some mechanics of a trick, it's a lot easier to understand the mechanics of another trick, even if you don't fully like understand it going into it. Trying to think of an example, but I mean, there's tons of like just little things. It's a lot of little things. But yeah, I mean, the second one was all dungeons, and like my first one was like 3.5 hours or something like that on GZ with save states.
Nice.
But that got down to like 2 hours, which is fine for a beginner, especially if that category. The category is like really difficult. I don't remember exactly the order I did them in after that, but it was something like GSR next, just because that's like, oh, it's the beginner category. I was like, I should probably do that. And I just kind of did everything else. Everything that looked interesting to me, I just did.
Yeah, that's such a That's such like a free flowing mindset. Are there a lot of tricks in? I haven't like. There aren't a lot of people who are running 80 no SRM on Twitch. Um, are there like did 80 no SRM? And I know like the runs definitely changed, but did it get like? I'm assuming it gave you like a really good range of skill sets for tricks that then you could learn or then you could use in other runs. Because like I feel like I look at something like getting choose early in the bottom of the well. If you know how to do that trick, that opens you up to like a lot of different categories. Like even like meme categories. Like you just need choose for like a lot of stuff. Did you like was that something with like 80 no SRM, or did you just like take all that information and that just like gave you confidence?
Say really either.
Yeah.
I honestly just have had a lot of fun learning everything there is to know about the game. And with the Old Engines SRM, honestly, there's not a lot in that category that's in other categories.
Huh. Interesting.
The category that benefits most from Old Engines SRM, as far as learning goes, is Hundo.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that for a while. That was one of the last categories I actually learned.
Yeah, so when
'Cause,
you
like,
when you went to Hundo, was it easier because you felt like, oh, I already know like I basically already know all the tricks. It's more like the route.
yeah, I mean, I understood RBA really well at that point.
Yeah.
I did MST for a while. I think I either had sub 2 at that point or had like a 20142. I know I had that time for a long time. But I mean, I just had a decent MST time, had a decent GSR time. I'd done a lot of everything. And Hundo, the only like new things it really introduces is like there's a couple places where you have to like weird shot, and weird shotting isn't really anything done in other categories. Um,
Yeah. The
and
only
like
for
just
weird shotting, I just think about G2G. The
yeah,
ability.
GTG, but I mean, you do that like twice in GTG for Hundo. You literally just
Yeah.
weird shot for ice arrows and weird shot back out. Water Temple has a few weird shots in it. You can do one or two in Shadow Temple. So yeah, there's a couple everywhere. There's like a weird clip for the Zora's domain skull as well.
Huh.
So that was like probably the one thing I can think of off the top of my head in that run that I had to like learn.
What
Everything else is just remembering everything and not fucking up RBA because there's a lot of RBA in that run.
So for each category, right? When you decide to run a category, do you like really try to stick to that category, and then like for how long do you like usually run a category for?
Um, so my mindset for the past 2 years is kind of different from my mindset now. I've kind of gotten to the point where like it's kind of hard for me to PB in every category I want to do.
Yeah, I think it's funny, dude. Like, it's like you could just, oh, maybe I'll run this. It'll be a little easier. Oh no, I'm like 12th in this category, dude.
um, yeah, but like when I'm running a new category, I kind of just run it for fun. Basically, I didn't have any goals in mind for any category when I had it. Maybe like the cheese goal of like, oh no, like I want sub 130 in all dungeons. Like that's not a huge good time. It's just like a benchmark for me to
Right.
to set for myself.
Yeah.
Sub 2 MST I did have a goal for, and let me tell you that was a bane. Um, but yeah, most of the time I kind of just ran it until I felt like I was getting burnt out, and if something interesting, if something else sparked my interest rather, I would just move to that.
Yeah. So do you find it interesting that like you have so many great times, but you don't really you have you have Jotwall world record, right?
I do have Jotwall world
So
record,
that's
and
something.
I held an MSB world record at one
I
point.
saw you were second in
Um,
that. Yeah.
yeah, I held it at one point. The routes changed since I held it.
So it's just
And then
slightly different than MST, right? It's
slightly, it's
I don't
it's
know much about it.
MST. It's MST, but it allows all item manipulation except for Ace.
Oh, the rules are completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So in the run, the version I ran at least, you would SRM title file, which gave you all the medallions.
Oh my
And then
god.
you would SRM an odd potion into your item slot, and RBA an odd potion gives you all the spiritual stones. And then you would actually SRM the trials done, But you need to watch the barrier cutscene. So you would leave Shadow undone, and then you would do a warp to Ganon's castle, and then beat Shadow Trial, and then go wrong warp to the credits in Fire Temple.
So it's yeah,
That's
it
the
is
route.
completely different. How long is the
It's
run?
completely different. Like 25 minutes.
Oh my god,
I
that's crazy. I mean,
don't know what it is now, but when I ran it was.
SRM. I sometimes I wish that like SRM and Ace were never found. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Me too,
Um,
honestly. I
do
feel like they've gotten
you
pretty
also have
ridiculous.
kind of like a you're not so hot on it? I mean, no
I
one
mean,
is so hot
I
on it, but like,
that's
you know what I
well,
mean?
there are some people. Um,
I guess.
for me, I just kind of pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I see something cool like being discovered every once in a while, and I vote on what I think should happen with it. Just because I feel like I still have a say, even if I'm not going to really run it. Um, but other than that, I mostly just pretend it doesn't exist. I'm not really interested in any SRM categories right now.
Yeah. It would be so cool if any percent was still what Defeat Ganon SRM is now, you know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see a huge difference personally.
yeah.
For
It's just the
it
title, I
being named
guess.
any percent
Yeah.
or being named a vegan, I feel like the community is still what it is and
Yeah,
what it
for
would have
sure.
been.
Yeah, definitely. No. It's just yeah, I guess like SRM was what was it like last winter or two like it was like
It
like very
was,
early 2020, right?
yeah. I know for a fact that I was at AGDQ 2020, and
Yeah.
they did the ZFG did his 100% no SRM, or not no SRM, no source requirement. Shares three letters with SRM.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
No
NSR, yeah.
source requirement. Um, run, and that featured like our first primitive version of SRM with giving Zelda's letter.
Oh, interesting.
I know, and just because I've heard it a bunch, I know we glitches and stuff posted this video for like the Garuda card in, or no, it was prescription in Bomb Chest on like October of 2019.
Right.
It was pretty soon after I started running, I guess. Two
I've heard
months.
yeah, I've heard people say that like GIM is like a form of SRM or something. What's like like how do you differentiate that? Like what's the real like
I haven't really heard that GIM is a version of SRM, honestly.
maybe I haven't. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking weird stuff. I don't know. Anyways,
I feel like I might have heard it somewhere, but I don't really think they
I
are.
mean it's
I don't know.
totally different, right?
Hard to say. Yeah.
Like um I mean, you're not right because in SRM, are you? It's more so like item generation than item manipulation,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Like,
Also, I've also heard that like a lot of things are technically SRM.
yeah, I think
And I
yeah,
think
that's like I've heard
the
that.
the version, like the exact wording, right, that we like ban is carry SRM.
Yeah,
So
right,
things like GIM would not be carry SRM.
right.
So even if things are like technically SRM, it's still not.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be
it's
banned under our rule set.
the carry SRM. Interesting, but all right. So what I was kind of like gonna ask before is that if you wanted to go for world record in a category, what do you think that category would be?
Probably all dungeons no SRM. I think I'd have the best shot of getting it in
Yeah.
that category.
Your
As far
MST
as
is really has been really good too, though.
any other category, I feel like it would take me a couple more years.
Yeah. Is that just the gap, or because there are other people running it?
Both.
Both.
I think the all dungeons no SRM record is not as good as it should be, especially for. So I don't know if you know much about the category, but
Not
there's
really.
kind of a VC route and an N64 route. Um, and they're very very different. VC does trade quests for songs and Zelda's Lullaby, and then BAs Furrow's Wind and Hammer on B during the route, and does like Furrow's Wind cutscene skips. N64 does none of that. At RBS Choose, that's the only RBA it really does in the route. Um, it it's still a really cool route in its own, but it doesn't do like any of that crazy item manipulation stuff. It mostly just RBH choose and does a bunch of wrong warping, and then does like eyeball frog timer to warp to the credits. Um, N64 route is actually faster. The number I've heard is 2 minutes. I don't know
Really?
how much true that is. I don't know if it's still 2 minutes faster or if it's gone up and down, but that's what Danny said in his PB video for All Dungeons. And Danny does the VC route.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I do as well. And even on the VC route, I feel like I could get world record if I went for it. Because Zudu's 116.56 is world record. That is not as optimized as it could be. And neither is Danny's. Recently, actually, Nale, it was just like one of the only people actually running Old Engines No SRM right now. He's doing the VC route. And he actually got a run that would have been 116.42 pace, I believe it was.
Wow.
Which is beating it by 14 seconds, the N64 world record. If he didn't fail the last trick of the run.
Oh my god, really?
It's really heartbreaking.
Dude,
that run is brutal. To get a run like that is rough. But yeah. Back to your main question. That's the category I feel like I could get it in, just because it's kind of short enough for me to be like, okay, I can kind of just go hard for everything. Other categories like MST, I feel like I can get a good time with MST. Like my estimate right now is if I went back to MST and grinded it, I could get like a 152. At like best, really. As far as what I do now and how my gameplay is. And the world record is 150, so I'm still 2 minutes off.
Yeah.
And Quest count is kind of a beast, and he's running it right now.
He's doing well, dude. He's pushing it, man. I mean,
so even if I thought I could get a 150, count's gonna have a 149, maybe 148 at some point soon. So that's what I'd have to beat, and that's even lower. Other than that, like maybe defeat Ganon SRM, no SRM, not SRM.
Dude. So yeah, I was gonna say that, like, especially. And maybe you can shed some light on this because, again, like I'm pretty new and like I don't exactly know how this works, but in general, like people told me to run a longer category, and then when I come back, it'll seem a lot easier, and like it actually already does. Like I didn't run GSR for that long, but like I do feel it. I do feel that like it seems a little bit simpler. And you've had so much experience running long categories and just different categories that require all sorts of tricks, and you already have a good time. However, like it's so easy to say, especially for someone who's not a runner, like for example with MST, right, where you're saying, I feel like the best I could do is a 152, and people could say like, oh well, it's just like another 2 minutes, just like get world record, right?
This is really
like,
hard to get.
You could say the same thing for defeat Ganon. So, but on the other hand, like it definitely, I feel like since you've done a lot of runs that have so many tricks over a big span of time, if you came back and grinded defeat Ganon no SRM with your skill and how quick you learn things, like
which might be happening soon.
Might be happening soon.
It's on the radar,
dude. I'd love it. I mean,
what I want to do, but that's kind of it's like MST or defeat Ganon no SRM. I'm kind of deciding between them right now.
Someone's got to bop Rich, man. he's had it for too long. Just come here and dominate, man. We'd love to have you.
I'm hoping Weather would bop him, but
yeah, I would. Dude,
I know I can get at least a sub 17 for sure.
That would be an insane goal, regardless.
I have easily 20 seconds to time save in my 17-18 PB.
What is your PB like? Like, where are your
17,
mistakes?
18?
No, I know it's 17-18, but like, what are your mistakes and stuff?
I failed Eclipse on Goma, and I think I had to get more nuts on the way to Deku 2. And then I failed Waterfallless.
Okay, yeah. So.
And also, I think my like Enter Deku or Gim like wasn't the fastest. It was like fine, but not the fastest. My Instaclip was like the best I've ever gotten though.
It's a little bit different of a grind, right? When you're running such a short category. Do you want to talk about that at all? Like how it's different when you're practicing and like running a shorter category versus a longer one?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, specifically for Defeat Ganon no SRM, it feels like a different game to me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It feels like a completely different game than any of the other OOT I play.
Interesting.
So, the only thing that comes kind of close to feeling like Defeat Ganon no SRM is All Dungeons no SRM, because those two categories are categories I feel like I can just go all out and not really care about resetting and just like just go full like everything, send it, right? Other categories like MST or Hundo, like I'm not doing everything I could. Like I'm not
Yeah, I
saving
know. I
a
feel
couple
you.
frames
Yeah.
here and there where I could, but with those categories, I feel like I can and should go for these very small frames of time save.
Yeah, because it's like in Hundo, you could like do something that like you could try something that might be 10 seconds faster, but it could also kill the run. Now you could do something in Defeat Ganon that's 10 seconds faster and might kill the
And also
run.
kill
But
everyone.
if it
But
kills
it's
your
like,
run, you've only been playing for 10 minutes.
yeah.
You know, so like, it, I think maybe that's partially why I like the category is because you can go all out. Like you can learn something, and
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes based on like morale, maybe you don't want to do something that's not consistent for you, like
Right.
yet. Just in terms of you want to finish some runs, you want to get deeper in runs, but it's there feels like there's less risk, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big believer in like building up your strats.
Yeah,
I don't think like if you like this, go for it. Right. I'm not telling people this is an inherently bad thing to do, but for me, I didn't and won't in like other cases just start with the best things.
yeah.
I will start with what I think I can reasonably get a good time with without frustrating myself too much, and then once I get a good time with that, I'll add a little bit here and a little bit there, and then it just builds up.
I think that's kind of like what I'm planning on for coming back to Defeat Ganon. Like, there are definitely some things. There are a lot of things that I want to incorporate, like quick lock, obviously. I want to
That's a big thing
learn.
you should do.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have been saying that, and I kind of understand the tone. Like, people people will suggest things to you with a certain tone, and um, I don't know about another example, but the tone is like you should learn this because it'll make you a lot faster, and you're not going to regret it. Um, and so I think that's one of the first things when I come back to learn. But yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's about obviously like pacing yourself, but like adding one thing at a time, right?
Yeah.
Unless you learn Hundo in 2 days, then it's not
I still only learned like one thing at a time. It was just I already knew most of that stuff.
right. Yeah, for sure. No, right, because you came into it with a lot of knowledge. I mean, yeah, I think that's so cool. Like eventually, I want to be at that point where I just know like almost every trick in the book, and I can just if I feel tired in one category, I can just do another one without like
Hmm.
studying, all the different tricks, like let
Yeah.
alone the route itself.
Like at this point, like I really can just hop into any category I want and be doing runs at a competitive level within like a day of D-Rest.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you
it's
just
pretty nice.
just learn Gwei Hover, and then we can see you doing some Max Percent Child.
That one I'd have to learn a few more strats for.
Yeah.
It does
Something,
look pretty
yeah.
cool if I didn't have a 30-minute trick in it.
I love the concept, like getting as much as you
It's
can
really
as a
cool as
child,
a concept.
but then I don't know how worth it is with that trick.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like, as someone who obviously who has never run the category, just a spectator, like I'm happy that ZFG is insane and found that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. By the way, I wanted to ask, so like, have you met a lot of like speedrunners at these events? Because you went to AGDQ in 2020. You've been to other stuff
Mhm.
too, right? Didn't you go to one in 2019?
No,
No.
so 20 right pretty much right after SGDQ 2019 was when I like
Okay.
got into speedrunning. So I never got to that one, and then I was pretty fortunate. I live in like near Georgia, in like Southside Georgia, and the GDQ 2020 was in Orlando, and I have family in Orlando. That's where I'm originally from. Um, and so it was really fortunate that I could just drive down, stay with my brother in his house, drive to GDQ, not have to pay for a plane, not have to pay for uh, like a hotel or anything. So that was really nice. I wouldn't have been able to go to it if it wasn't exactly in Orlando, pretty much.
Dude, that's
Um,
awesome.
but I haven't been anything since because of COVID.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're able to do AGDQ 2022. I really wanted to happen. I have so many more speedrunning friends than I did in 2020. Like you. and so many other people. So many people I want to meet
Yeah,
and
absolutely. I feel
want
that.
to meet again. But yeah, to answer your original question, I met Danny there. I met Torge. I met uh, people that I hadn't interacted with up until that point, like Consultant, Cymarth, uh, who actually taught me Potchess SRM. SRM was like still being kind of worked on at GDQ, which was really cool. You got to see like scientists literally science live
That's
on a
awesome.
CRT. Um, yeah, I met tons of people at
Yeah.
GDQ who I'm still close with, so
What are those
it's
events
really
like?
nice.
Do you
They're
just
really
like go
fun,
to
really really
certain
fun.
yeah. Are there like booths or there's like rooms where people are doing speed runs and you just like sit down for a run or
Yeah, so I've only been to one, like I
yeah.
said. So I can only speak for the one that I've been to. But at the one I went to, there were a couple rooms, and these rooms, well, not just a couple rooms total, but there were a couple rooms where like things happened. There was a room that's filled with like CRTs, like in U shape around the room, and then more CRTs in the middle of the room on like an island. There were like maybe 35, 40 CRTs in that room. Um, and you
Dude,
just
I'm
have
just
all
daydreaming
kinds of
right now.
people. You just have all kinds of people doing all kinds of things in their own game. Like that's something I like to quote often when talking about GDQ. When people ask me about it, is like you literally just come down to the room, sit down next to Danny, who's doing something next to you, and just start practicing and just start talking to everyone. It's just surreal, really.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, dude, if I got to if I just got to like if it was anyone, dude, like it would be surreal for me to just like practice
Yeah,
with
it
someone, like side by side
doesn't
with
even have to be
anyone.
funny. Just you
Yeah,
just sit
exactly.
down, like next to JFM or someone, or it's hard to remember exactly who was there. I'm just popping things into my mind, but I mean, like just sitting down next to literally anyone you've talked with online and meeting in person. It's surreal.
Yeah.
It's
I
insane.
um I would really like to go to a GDQ. Because I have so many friends now from Twitch and from
Right.
speedrunning. More friends than I have like in real life. Like it's been tough, man, with COVID to
Same.
get out and stuff.
Yeah, I
Like
feel you.
like people in my chat and people I talk to on Discord, like that's it, man. Like
Yeah, pretty much
those are
same.
the homies. Um, so yeah, I mean that'd be awesome. Um, yeah, so you're from Florida, but you're in Georgia
Hmm.
right now, right?
Yeah, right.
Um, yeah, if you want, we can take a little break from the whole speedrunning conversation, and if you wanna say a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do outside of streaming, then
Sure.
go for it.
So my real name's Carson. I am 21, turning 22 in 21 days. Um,
Nice.
20, 25 days. Can't math. Um, on the topic of not being able to math, I'm a math tutor.
It's funny.
And then I work as a math tutor during the week. So like Sunday through Thursday, and then I don't get enough hours or pay from that job alone. So I have another job where I cater weddings during the weekend.
Cool. Interesting.
And
What kind of
that's
math do you tutor? Like what
um
level?
yeah, it's kind of like an all-encompassing thing. I work for Mathnasium, if you've ever heard of that. Um,
Oh, yes, I have.
so
I got it.
it's kind of like anything from like kindergarten really to like high school.
Nice.
So I work with a lot of different things.
Damn, I could have used you in high school, dude. Man.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot of fun.
that's
I
cool.
enjoy it a
Yeah,
lot.
you like teaching?
Yeah, it's really fun. Uh, it's very, very fulfilling. So
Yeah.
nice to do something and see like the fruits of your labor pretty
Dude,
much
it's awesome.
immediately.
Like
When people have like an aha moment.
yeah, for sure. I actually was good. I was good at math. And I I actually did tutoring. I was a student instructor in college, um, for statistics. And so I know the feeling. Like we would have sessions, right? We'd have like 45 minutes a day or whatever, where people could come in with their homework, with questions and stuff. And there was something about being really, really good at something and sharing it with somebody else and them getting it. Like it's priceless, man. Like that feeling is so
Yeah,
good. Like
it's really cool.
yeah. And I think that I want to do some kind of teaching, some kind of giving for my occupation. So like I'm planning on being a sports psychologist. I'm about to start going to school for that, and that's
It's
not
really cool.
really teaching. It kind of is because
It's a similar vibe.
it's suggesting like strategy, and it is
Hmm.
taking information from, I guess, not only like your studies in psychology, but also like my own life. Like I was a baseball player, and I did have a very very strong mental game. But yeah, I've coached a lot of baseball as well, and yeah, like, dude, that feeling where you you give something and it's a piece of knowledge. Yeah, it's crazy, and like I love doing that with even with like speedrunning too. And I'm not really like I am very much more so the learner, but um, like dude, whenever I have the opportunity to teach, like I'll do it for sure.
Yeah, same.
Um,
I wish people would like ask me more. Like I literally tell people like literally DM me. I will help you for like hours for free. I don't care. I like helping people.
all right, I'm gonna book you from 5 to 10 p.m. tomorrow. You're gonna teach me Instaclip, okay? Um, get ready. No, but for sure, dude. I will come to you with questions for sure. Because
Yeah, just
I
as a
am.
PSA for anyone watching, like if you need help with like pretty much any category, I can help you.
That's funny. Um, do you have you been to Disney a lot? Because you're around kind of that area.
Yeah, I've been to Disney a bit. More so Universal. I when I lived there, I
For sure.
had like an annual pass for Universal, and
Nice.
me and my friends would kind of just go like twice a week
Yeah. Do you like
for
the
like
Hulk?
months. It's happened on it like 60 times or something.
There was one time when so I've been to Universal and Disney a lot. Yeah, there was one day when the lines were really short, and we went on the Hulk like 3 times in a row, and I like literally blacked out on the third time. Like,
Nice.
dude, when you come out of the loop, like
Yeah, yeah.
for like a split
I
second,
nearly blacked out
dude,
on one of them.
dude, but
I know exactly
Universal
what
is
you're
so
talking about.
great.
Yeah, it's
Um,
nice.
there are a lot of rides that I like. I'm trying to think of like other. Apparently, there's a whole new Star Wars part of
Oh, is there?
Universal. Is it Universal or Disney? I think it must be.
I imagine it'd be Disney because Disney owns Star Wars, right?
It's Disney. It's in what used to be. It's in Hollywood Studios, I think, because they already had the
Okay.
I don't know if you remember like the Star Tours ride there. Maybe not.
Rings a bell. I don't think I went on it much, but I think I
Yeah.
remember seeing it.
But there's a yeah. So in Disney, yeah, it's definitely Disney. It's new Star Wars. But Universal is Harry Potter World. Have you been to Harry Potter World?
Yes, I'm not a big Harry Potter
Yeah,
person though, but
that's
I've been
fair.
to it. It was mostly to humor my friends who are Harry Potter fans.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
It was cool for what it was worth. I didn't really
Yeah.
understand most of it, but it's still cool. I mean, just seeing like fictional things portrayed as best as possible in a real life setting
As
is still always cool.
as Chef would say, I'm disappointed. Like disappointed.
I'm not a big movie person in general, or
Really?
a book person, so I haven't seen or read a lot of the things that most people have.
what's like a go-to hobby for you if you're not working or streaming or playing OT?
That's about it.
Not really.
I
Um,
mean, I just game with my friends, and then
yeah,
I mean, if I'm not doing any of that, then I usually just like watch a stream and
yeah.
play some sing. Oh, I enjoy single player games. I guess is a hobby I can do by myself. I enjoy like story games. That's something I get really immersed in. Like, I famously disappeared for an entire month when I wasn't streaming for a month, and my friends thought I was like missing when I found the Persona series. I don't know if you're familiar with that one at all,
Yeah, no,
but
I haven't seen much of it, but I've heard you talk about it.
like literally this. So like October, if I remember specifically October of 2020, I discovered Persona, and I literally played the 3, 5, and 4, not in that order. But I discovered those games and played them for like a month straight, and was not interested in doing almost anything else.
What are they like? Like, why is it so addicting? How, like,
um,
yeah.
it's hard to say. I mean, it's a JRPG, which I'm usually not even like a huge fan of. But the combat is just really seamless, especially in 5, the newest one. Um, the combat's really like polished and streamlined, and the story is always like pretty cool. The first one I played 4 specifically is a murder mystery, and I love detective games. So
Damn,
just
I
figure,
should try it. Yeah, I like mystery and like detective stuff too. I might have to check it out
yeah.
for sure.
Um, and it's not a detective game, but it has the vibe. You're still trying to solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Um, and then the characters are really well written for the most part, and feel very like real, as far as their interactions go. And
Yeah, character development and character identity is something that's really important in like storytelling, where whether it's
mhm.
like through a show or a movie or a game. Like I find myself more attached to shows. You know what's interesting? You know what I've been watching a lot of lately is Yu-Gi-Oh. I've been watching
Yu-Gi-Oh,
yeah,
really.
I've been watching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh lately. Now to be fair, it's a big nostalgia trip for me because like I was definitely a what was like the brand like it wasn't, it's not CW, or was it 4 Kids or like
I think it was 4 kids. Yeah.
yeah, like I was a big like 4 Kids, like I watched Nickelodeon too, but like yeah, I was huge into Yu-Gi-Oh, and but it's interesting, like it's similar with OOT. I guess it has similarities and differences, but like I love I love things that have very strong character identities. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has very strong characters actually. Like you know their personalities, you know what they're thinking, you know how they feel about other people. But like, is it a great show? I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good show. There are definitely things like it's one of those shows where like the characters say everything that they're thinking, which is not like a it's not a great like trademark thing in terms of like shows and movies and stuff, like especially modern day.
Hmm.
But I enjoy, and this is where I compare it with something like Ocarina of Time or Zelda. I enjoy when games or shows hit on like the very core principles of courage, and like heroism,
Hmm.
um, like wisdom. Honestly, like the Triforce, like courage, wisdom, and power. Yeah, and maybe that's why like Zelda's my favorite thing ever. But sometimes like I just need to, whether it's like play Zelda or watch Yu-Gi-Oh or something, like I just need to do something simple that I'm gonna enjoy. Like it doesn't have to be this crazy show where I'm like always trying to figure out what's gonna happen, or I'm so like emotionally invested. It's like I just like the how it's so innocent in like displaying these like core principles of humanity. I don't know if that like resonates with you at all, but like
No, I totally get it.
yeah,
I don't think it quite resonates with me the same way it does with you, but
yeah,
like, I mean, I totally get it. I
yeah,
have things like that as well. I mean, I watch some anime. I'm not like a huge into anime, but anime is weird for me. I did this thing where I don't watch it for months, and then I'm like, I feel like watching an anime, and then I binge a show in like 2 days,
yeah.
and then I don't watch it for another like 2 months.
Do you
But
feel
like,
yeah?
go
It's
ahead.
it's no. I was just gonna say like it's interesting. Like I feel like a lot of speedrunners do like anime. I don't know if it like. Do you feel like like speedrunners, like people who speedrun OOT, have a lot of like typically have some things in common?
I mean, yeah,
Um,
we're all into games.
yeah,
We're all usually for OOT specifically. We're all like into Zelda specifically, even not OOT. Like we all love Zelda.
yeah,
We wouldn't be here if we didn't really.
yeah.
And I mean, we have a lot of things in common already. Just as a product of being in this community, that we're bound to have other things in common too. I feel like makes a
One
lot of
thing that
sense to me.
one thing that was interesting is like I think a lot of people who speedrun are musical oriented as well, and not necessarily everyone, but I know Danny is, I know Wolkie is, and I guess I'm just thinking of those two people because they've both been on Mind of the Streamer,
Right.
and they were back to back, and I was like, there's like a kind of an interesting like thing going on here. And then I asked Weather, and he's not very musical, but he does climbing. He does like free
Mm-hmm.
climbing, or not. I don't know if it's free climbing, but sport climbing. Um, and it's interesting. Like it seems like everyone has something in their life that they can like relate to Ocarina of Time speedrunning. Do you feel like there's something that's strong in your life that like you can, because like it takes we need to have like some intrinsic like value or thing that we appreciate in order to motivate us to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like um sometimes I think about me playing baseball and how I persevered and always tried to get better, and I can relate that to speedrunning. But I don't know. Like, is there something that you like relate to that?
Yeah, I guess it's not like a one thing I have, but it's more like a personality trait I have. I'm a
Yeah,
very competitive person, have been all my life. Uh, just things that I try to be competitive in, I've usually not been great at. Like I tried soccer in like middle school and elementary school, played it for a bit, was decent at it, got dropped immediately in middle school. And it was like heartbroken. I was like, okay, I'm never
yeah,
playing sports
it's
again.
tough.
Never played sports again. I then I was big into like multiplayer games. Like I played a lot of League of Legends in my life. I don't really anymore. Just because I do more OT now. But like I mean, I made it to like platinum, which is like pretty good. But
That's very
like,
good. Yeah.
but
Damn.
like, still never really did much with that. I mean, platinum is good, but it's not good enough to do anything
Right.
with,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, drop that. And then OT came along, and I was like, okay, this is fun. And then now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm actually like pretty good at this. Um, and I'm streaming and that, and I'm not like counting on anything, right? But this is something that I can have some value with. I think in one way or another, I think just streaming and being good at something is just something that's fun and important to me as a person.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
want to
I
sound like
understand
super
that.
shallow, like I just want to be good at something, but like it's kind of what it is. I
No,
like being
but
good at things.
yeah, dude. Like it's um, dude, it's not easy to be really good at something. Like
It's
just
not.
I was. This is what I was. This actually came up in my talk with Squala. It was the concept of being good at a lot of different things, but not being great at one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a principle of insecurity, because chances are you are really really good at something, like you're really good at OT. Um, so yeah, like we really do have to appreciate the things we are really good at, because it also, I mean, also it depends on what bar you set yourself, right? Like most people would
Mm.
say that being plat in league is really really good. Maybe outside of like, people at the top of the league community.
And people in
Um,
plat.
yeah, and people, you know what? The Do we want to talk about the league community? But you know what I mean, right? Um, so it's interesting, because I've always like that's a concept that I've always struggled with, is like, am I really really good at anything? Like I know I'm good at,
Yeah,
certain things, but am I really really good at something? I do think, I do think you are really really good at OOC speedrunning.
thanks, dude.
I think like the question is, yeah, dude, of course. Like I've always, like, even before like we became friends, like I've always looked up to you. I always knew how good you were, and I was like, I gotta sit down and talk to this guy. Like, what's going on here? Um, no, but like, I think you should set your sights. Like, you can definitely. I don't know if there's a way that, because you deserve to have. I feel like you deserve to have like, um, or get like more credit than you get. And I don't know if that's like, it's kind of weird to say that, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say basically is like, I wish, um, I don't know. I don't really know what I am trying to say. Do you feel like?
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just weird to kind of
I think a lot of the
say
thing behind it is like I do this for like my own like self gratification.
Yeah.
Kind of like being good at something I only care about me thinking I'm good at something. Not only, but like most of like 60-70% of like what I care about is me thinking I'm good at it. Not thinking, knowing. You can think you're good at plenty of things that you aren't. um, but like, where was I going with this? I had somewhere specific I was going with this. Ah, yeah. So part of the reason, like, you say I don't get enough credit, as much credit as I should, which I feel. I mean, I don't have like a huge stream. Like, I mean, I get a comfortable amount of viewers that I feel happy streaming with. But it's mostly because I haven't like purposefully tried to get more viewers. I don't. That's not what I stream for.
And that's kind of where I was like, I would not like with how well you play. I could see you having a stream with like hundreds of viewers. Oh my god, I didn't turn alerts off. Somebody, Spittle rated. Okay, yo.
Hi, Spittle.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm talking to Lake, and hope you guys enjoy. We're just chilling right now. That was so loud. It's okay. Don't worry about it. How? I don't know how. I don't know how that happened because I don't have my I made a new scene for Mind of the Streamer and like I don't have a one for browser.
Alerts on them?
Yeah, I don't have alerts on. So
are you using Slobs or using OBS Studio?
OBS.
Studio or just
no, not Studio. Like I'm using
Streamlabs?
It's OBS Studio. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Streamlabs. Anyways.
Right,
but you know what, like right, and that's kind of where I was getting at is like, do you feel like there's something that you could do, but like maybe you don't want to. Maybe you're just comfortable playing the game and like doing well, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're getting at.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, if I wanted to grow my stream, I could do it. If I want, like, if I had the drive to, I could do it probably. If I had the same mindset as someone like Richard, right? Richard went into this like determined to grow his stream. I'm in here determined to get better at the game. That's what I'm playing the game
That's
for.
such a good quote. Yeah, dude. Like, it's interesting. Like, people are different, right? I think I'm in the middle. I think I'm kind of in the middle. And lately, I've been like going more towards like I want to like do a lot of content, and I want my content to be good, and I want to improve. Because like, dude, before OOT, like I streamed old school RuneScape, and the community wasn't great, but like I think one of the big things about OOT is like you're in a bunch of different communities that's in one big community, so it's relatively easy to like get to know and talk to people. So like I had like no viewers when I talked to or when I did old school RuneScape, but like, you know, I'll have like 7 or 8 viewers doing OOT. And, like, even though it's not that much, like, I'm always engaged with chat. That's one of the really cool things. It's, like, you don't need that many viewers to actually, like, be talking to people. And I guess, like, I've really liked that feeling. Like, it feels really good to, like, not be alone. Surprise, surprise. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I've just been building off of that and, like, finding ways to, like, keep that consistent, you know?
Yeah, totally get you. I feel the same way. Like, the 5-10 that I typically hover around, it's like, and it's plenty for the stream part of it to be totally worth it. Like, it's way better than just local recording and sitting there playing the game by myself.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's yeah. How is it like? Have you ever done runs offline?
Yeah, I've done some. I usually don't do any longer runs. It's mostly if like for instance, the new any percent route that was found. I did a few offline attempts of that. Just to try to see if I could get a PB.
How'd that go?
Sometimes not well. I hate turning down right without anything but a flick. It's impossible. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, what is the deal with like people basically like modifying their controllers so that like their notches are a certain way, right?
So the whole deal with that is so for the new any percent angle setup, you have to get a perfect down right turn. You have to go from 0 or 8,000 to 2,000 in hex. I don't know what you use for your watches, but yeah, you have to get from a perfect cardinal to a perfect diagonal.
Right.
And you are holding a rock, right? So you can't shield turn. Um, so you have to flick, and you just have to like you literally just poke your in a notch,
Yeah.
and that's awful, clearly. And so what Save State came up with to remedy that is they modified uh, their like chord. I think. Well, originally they like
The
did a
cord.
set like a thing. Yeah, the chord kind of. Well, Danny did that. I think Save State came up with the idea, but Save State at first did a thing where they would unplug their controller and then replug it in when you're holding up left, so that neutral when you replug it in. If you hold neutral, that's down right, right?
Right.
Because if your neutral is here, then neutral in your controller is going to be down right. And so now when you flick down right, that's like really really far down right. So much so that it's all like the range of a perfect diagonal goes from here to like you can wiggle it around pretty much and still hit the perfect diagonal, and then you would reset your controller again to get it back to just regular controller. And so that's what they were doing. They were really just like doing that with their actual plug in the Wii. And then Save State, I think Save State came up with the idea, and then Danny built it. Was like an extension for his cord that would you would just hit a button, and it would do the thing where you unplug the controller. Like it's just the on and off switch for the cord, basically. And that's what they do for any percent now.
Like,
It's awful.
yeah, I don't know. It like, I feel like it's weird to like say, "Oh, that makes me like upset." I wouldn't say it makes me upset. It does make me feel like a little strange. You know? Like, um, yeah, but I don't know. Like, I mean, here's the thing, right? Any percent, like anything goes, right? It's
Yeah.
absolutely the fastest you can beat the game, and I don't think it's unheard of for like people to come up with certain ways to do like certain very specific inputs. Like there are hard glitches out there, not just in Zelda, that require like extremely specific things. You know?
Yeah, I mean, one of our first A setups was done using rubber bands to hold a second controller in
That's
a
right.
certain way.
Yeah.
So, like, this is hardly the craziest thing we've had.
Yeah. Um.
I mean, we have ESS adapters. I feel like those are far more crazy than a button that turns your controller on and off.
Yeah. I love my S adapter, dude.
Me too.
It
Good. Served me well.
shameless plug, but it just it makes the position much more lenient, and
Yeah.
I like today I was doing switching from S right to left and right to left without buffering, and I was like, I wonder how this would be if I didn't have my adapter.
Pretty awful is the answer.
Yeah. Damn, yeah. But I'm happy that I have it and it works, and it's very simple. And dude, like I was gonna talk about calibrating the notches, but on this controller, like, dude, I love these notches. Like it's just very
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I just want to say, if there's anyone in chat who wants to ask Lake a question, you can go for it. Now that we have some people in chat, but I have other things that we can talk about. But is there anything that you wanted to talk about before we move on?
I don't really have anything specific in mind.
No?
But whatever
sure?
your next talking point is, we can just go from there. I'm a go with the flow kind of guy.
I don't know, man. We could talk about anything.
Anything.
We've been going for probably an hour. So I mean, it doesn't really matter to me how long. I mean, obviously, we don't have to go. We don't have to go too late because, I get tired and stuff. I know you stay up late, but
yeah, I'll be up for another 4 or 5 hours.
It doesn't really matter because I'm not gonna. It's interesting. It's different since it's live because I don't have to think about I'm gonna have to edit all this stuff. Like I'm just gonna upload the VOD. This is gonna be great.
Nice.
Of course, Dan is asking if you want to do races. I don't think that's really. Is that really a question? Is that an appropriate question?
I do not wish to answer that on mind to the streamer.
But
maybe Dan. I don't know.
Do a race on on the show. That'd be funny.
On my other streamer, just pull up,
Let's
share my
let's
screen on Discord.
let's see how good you really are. Let's put you to the test.
Dan just wants a salty run back from the journey.
Here's something. I have like yeah, I printed out some stuff just in case like I get stuck.
Cool.
All right. Here's a good question. What is your favorite thing about speedrunning?
I kind of mentioned this earlier. Honestly, it's just the competitive aspect of
Yeah.
it. Not necessarily me competing against other people, although the leaderboard kind of helps with my whole mentality. Just seeing like the placement of me rise up is very fulfilling to me. Or even just like breaking minute barriers is very fulfilling to me. That's kind of the main thing. Not really the main thing. I think the main thing for me about OT specifically is the glitches and trying to understand them as best as I can, and also perform them. Understanding them kind of helps with performing them.
So we kind of went over this before, but like you started playing when you were like young, right? With the collector's edition, or
Yeah,
not really?
yeah. I mean, I don't think I actually ever beat OT until I started speedrunning it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I
did a couple of casual playthroughs, but I don't think I ever actually beat the game.
It's really interesting to see, like, on one hand, right, and like this is why I like doing this show, and eventually I don't want to do it like just with speedrunners. Like, I'd like to have anyone on it, but speedrunners are kind of just the people I know. But like, right, first it's interesting to see, right, how like the roots of being competitive and to see like what really drives people to speedrun. But then also like what their roots with the actual game are, because like I know speedrunners of OT who like didn't really even play the game until like they started speedrunning. Like for me, I played so much casually. Like I had like 15 or 16 just like casual playthroughs before I started speedrunning. So it's interesting, right? It's interesting to see like number one, the kind of the real life draw, like how someone kind of the motivation to actually do the speedrun, and the number two, what their connection is like with the game itself. Because I feel like for me, having like, and I think I have more of like a sentimental kind of connection with OT than other people, but like I feel like that helps me do it. Like I love the game. Like I love everything about OT. And that helps me turn it on and stream it. Even if it's not like what I did for most of my life. Now I'm playing it differently. But like, you know, I don't know. It's interesting. And I think especially when I started speedrunning, I was surprised that more people didn't have such a strong like feeling. I was like, am I just weird? I'm just weird, right?
I feel like I'm the weird one. I kind of like got into this purely because I saw the glitches and was like, this is crazy. This game's so broken. And that's like still like this game is not even remotely a casual game to me anymore. The casual side of this game doesn't even exist to me. Like I had so little experience with the casual side. I don't have any memories really of my playthroughs. I don't remember my latest casual playthrough of OSC. This is literally just a sandbox of glitches to me.
Yeah, no,
Which
I mean,
I'm fine with, by the way. That's why I play it. I love it. I love that it's a sandbox of glitches. But that's all it is to me.
it's definitely hard to view it as something else. If you have even dabbled, if you have watched speedrunning, if you have speedrun the game, if you're just a beginner, like once you do that first, once you like ISG Stalfos or Ganon, it's like, okay, like you can do that. Like,
It's over.
It's over. Yeah, it's over. You know what else is interesting is like you were talking about you got into like you were watching Narcissa. Dude, I wasn't really even like in the community, but it's weird. Like I think I had a Twitch account, or maybe I didn't have a Twitch account, but I would just like I would watch Narcissa and Skater, and like not. I guess I like wouldn't chat, like because I feel like I would have like met people. Like I think I just watched. But
Yeah,
I was
known on Twitch.
I was in the 1810. Like I saw it live,
Nice.
and
That's sick.
I think that was like one of the things that really intrigued me about like getting into speedrunning the game, which I think that may have motivated me. I did a I did a Master Sword speedrun back in 2015. I set up a camera with like some buddies and my brother, and I actually like I have an N64 and I have the Japanese cartridge, and I like I don't know if I have it around, but yeah, and you have to like cut out this part or whatever, like to fit it into the American N64. And yeah, like I did I think it was like 135 or something, like an hour and 35 minutes to get the Master Sword. And then I didn't speedrun again until I think I did a glitchless run, I think in 2019. For a while, there was a while where I was playing OOT casually on stream, and I always wonder if like one of you guys ever like came in and was like, "Yo, GL," but I have no idea. But I did a glitchless run that took me over 9 hours, and
Nice.
yeah, I didn't submit that, and then I started running
Didn't submit it.
I started running in 2020, but yeah, it's interesting to talk about, like, basically where people come from in terms of the game, like their experience.
Yeah, it's cool.
If you want, we could try out some trivia. I got some trivia here.
Okay, I'm down for trivia.
Yeah.
You guys you have good questions?
I got some good questions.
Okay.
Chat can fact check this if some of my questions are wrong. I don't know how to what. I guess I gotta start with like easy questions and see. Man, I don't know. I mean, these questions I got for you are difficult. I also have my Zelda encyclopedia over there.
Nice.
Okay, this one's pretty good. All right. So, what happens? So these are all going to be related to Ocarina of Time. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens to an adult and child, respectively, when they get lost in the Lost Woods?
What happens to them?
Yeah. So if they get lost in the Lost Woods, they turn into something.
Oh, you mean okay? I thought you meant in the gameplay. I was like, you go back to the cookie.
No, this is no.
Yeah. So a child turns into a Stalfos. No. Yeah, a child turns into a Stalfos.
The
I know
adult.
one of them.
So
Adult turns into a Stalfos. Oh yeah. Okay. So the adult turns into a Stalfos, and does the child become a Kokiri or
the
something
child
of the sort?
becomes a Skull Kid.
A Skull Kid? Yeah. I definitely remember hearing that somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Is your Twitter named after the roller coaster? Wait, what?
Thunder Road?
Oh, no.
Thunder Mountain Railroad, I believe.
Did you mean Thunder Mountain? So first of all, it's a great ride. But no, my name is so I was Thunder Road for a while. Actually, I changed my name from Thunder Road Live to Thunder_OOT when I started speedrunning, because I just wanted people to call me Thunder and not Thunder Road. But Thunder Road actually comes from the Bruce Springsteen song, so that's where the name comes from. Okay.
Nice.
Which OOT boss previously dwelled in the bottom of the well?
Bongo?
Yes. Nice.
He crawls out in the Nocturne cutscene.
Yes, right. I also read something, and we can talk about this. I'll talk about lore with you. We don't have to just, ask questions. But
Yeah.
I read something that... So, Bottom of the Well looks like it was a prison, and had prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
there's a theory that it was a prison for the Sheikas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's confirmed. I don't know.
Like a prison owned by the Sheikas, right?
No,
Is that what you mean?
like Sheikas were prisoner, I think, because Sheikas are. I guess it was. I don't know.
What I've heard is
Maybe.
that it was like a prison and a torture ground for prisoners of war, owned by the Sheikah.
Okay, maybe I don't
That's what
know
I've
if and chat can weigh in if they know stuff like that. Okay, here's a good one. Who raised Ganondorf?
Kome and Kotake,
Yeah.
the Gunroba twins.
Nice. This is a hard one. I don't think you're gonna know this.
Okay.
So Miyamoto, right? Is that how you say it? The
Yeah.
creator. So he had an idea for Ingo to do something after losing Epona to Link in Lon Lon Ranch. Do you know what his original idea was?
I haven't heard anything about this.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to think of a guess, so I don't just leave you dry. Because I mean, currently, like in game, he locks you in and tells you can keep opponent,
right,
but you can't leave.
So Miyamoto wanted to do something a little bit more dramatic, than just.
Do you want to fight you?
So he wanted Ingo to set Lon Lon on fire, but it was the idea was turned down. I think partially because it was a little extreme, and second because people wanted Link to be able to return to Lon Lon Ranch after.
Gotcha.
So that
makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the hardest questions I have on here. All right, let's see what else I have. Where?
Yeah, that's cheating because that's developer lore and not actual.
You know what?
Lore.
You know what? This is also actually a good one, dude. You're not gonna get this.
Okay.
In the German version of the game, maybe Dan knows this. In the German version of the game, the Carpenters in Gerudo's Fortress are named after the members of which band?
I only know like one German band, so that's my guess. It's Rammstein.
It's actually an American. Is the Beatles.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I should have specified an American band.
It doesn't. I mean, it's a band. It doesn't matter.
This is actually a good one. Ocarina of Time. Yeah, dude, I really searched for hard questions because you were talking mad shit.
Is that war questions?
You were
talking lore questions. I know a lot about the lore.
Talking mad game. The lore, yeah. Let me see if I have.
I never claimed I knew what the German Carpenters were named. Or what's in Miyamoto's thoughts.
I could, dude, I don't know if I can. I'll try to think about some just on the spot, lore questions. I don't know, dude. I know things about the game, but not really much about the lore.
Aren't you the one that said you played OT 17 times or something?
I played it a lot. But it's hard for me to remember, I guess. Let me think. Oh, you know what's something that's really interesting? I don't know if this is really lore. But
if you have anything from other Zelda games, by the way, I can do those too.
I was looking at I'm just gonna say this. So I was looking at the encyclopedia I have, and did you know that the Master Craftsman and Granny, the witch or the old lady in the potion shop,
lady,
they're married. And
interesting.
They are the parents of Anju, the Cucko lady, and the Master Crafts. I guess his name is just the Master Craftsman's son. He's the guy who you give Kojiro to, or Kojiro.
Kojiro?
Yeah, he looks like a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? That you said that guy and the witch are the
parents
of Anju?
I don't know if you can see this,
but in the game, and I'm pretty sure Anju refers to that Kojiro dude as her brother.
Yes, so they are brothers, right? That's what I was saying. So yeah, they're not married. So these guys are married, but and then these are the office,
so the carpenter in Kakariko, is that who that guy is? The Master Craftsman? Where is that guy?
No, isn't this the guy who?
No, the top right guy, Master Craftsman.
That's the guy who gives you the saw, right? He gives you the poacher's saw. He's in the tent in Gerudo Valley.
He doesn't give you the saw. The child gives you the saw in Forest, but you give him the saw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, it's really interesting. Yeah, there's this page in my
Like,
encyclopedia that has like a bunch of like relationship stuff. It's interesting.
neat.
Um, yeah, I guess I failed with my lore. Does anybody have good lore questions? I think maybe I should ask you this since everyone's got it wrong. So maybe you can be the first person to get it right.
Okay.
So, believe it or not, did Spittle get this right? I think he got it wrong. But Richard and Weather both got this wrong. And I think Danny got it wrong too, believe it or not.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
What
You
is the
choose.
name of the owl?
Kapora Gabora.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. What is the Master Sword called in the French version? I don't know. I have a good one though, actually. OT is the first game to not have a sword in the game with this special ability.
Is it the beams that shoot out full hearts?
Yeah, fire beams. Nice, dude. Nice. I have some interesting ones. I don't think you're gonna get these.
Okay. Okay.
Well, actually, this is an interesting one. Ocarina of Time runs on a modified engine of what Nintendo game?
Oh God, I didn't play many other N64 Nintendo games. What other things look like OT? Vaguely. Banjo?
This game does not look like OT, but it runs on a modified SM64 engine. Isn't that crazy?
Okay. I can see it.
Early during development, the market was originally called what?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Early during development, the market was originally called what?
Like the market area in
Yeah.
OT? I haven't heard of anything like this. I'd guess like town center or something. I
It was
don't know.
originally called downtown.
Downtown. Pretty close. Got the town.
At the bottom of the pool, inside the Lakeside Laboratory, there is something behind a set of
The
bars.
shark.
Nice, dude. That was good. Good job.
I think there's something similar in MM2 somewhere in like the Great Barrier Area.
Is it
Pretty
really
wrong.
called Excalibur Cabbage? I'm not sure if Danny failed that question. I know Richard and Weather did. But I have to look
Richard and
back.
Weather are stuck in the forest, dude.
I do want to rewatch. Yeah, dude, seriously. I want to rewatch my episode with Danny, and I want to do a live episode with him too, because I think that'd be really cool. As well as, especially with Richard, because he's so well spoken, and Weather too. Just have some guys on who I've already talked with before. This one's kind of interesting. The character Sakon, Sakon, can be seen running around the Hyrule Town Marketplace.
Yep.
If the player speaks to him, he will say, "Huff, huff, I'm late for a very important date." A quote from what movie?
What? I'm not a movie guy. I told you this. I don't watch movies.
It's a quote from Alice in Wonderland.
Never seen it.
It's pretty interesting.
Nice, though. That's cool.
This is another interesting fact. I don't really know how to ask this, but much like how Bowser's laugh in Super Mario 64 is sped up for the use as the Boo's laugh, Ganondorf's laughter is sped up to create the laughter of the Poe sisters in the Forest Temple. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
neat. That is interesting.
If you take out a Deku stick near a group of butterflies and lead one away from the group, the butterfly will turn into what?
A fairy.
Nice.
We actually used that property of the butterflies to do Zora's River SRM.
Really?
Yeah, there's an SRM that links the reward you get from the frogs, the heart piece, and kind of connects it in a weird way to the butterfly thing. And you can like pick up the butterfly and move it. It's very interesting. I don't know the exact specifics of that, so that's as much as I really know in a general broad sense. But yeah, that's kind of where I learned that from.
What are there any just like interesting pieces of lore that you want to share that I might not know?
Let's see. Does it have to be for OC specifically?
No, it doesn't have to be for OC. Just let it rip.
I know in Wind Waker, you know, in how Ganon has like 2 swords when you fight him.
Yeah.
The inscription, both his blades are inscribed. And on one sword it says Kome, and on one sword it says Kotake.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
What else do I have? I have a ton of Breath of the Wild stuff because that thing's like filled to the brim. So much so that I couldn't even pick one out for you off the top of my head.
I'm still working on my first playthrough, so it's okay. I'll figure it out for myself.
Let's see.
I'll try to think of lore stuff as well. I don't know.
Is there anything I can ask? Anything? I want to come up with an OOT question. What do I have? I can't think of anything.
Me neither. It's hard, dude. Like, I don't know.
Trivia is hard.
Yeah.
I'd come up with.
I'm gonna need dude, for the next. I need a team. I need a trivia team.
Trivia team.
whoever is on the show next to.
Dude, I'll help you with the trivia team.
Dude, for sure. I'm gonna need you, man. I'll need you. So we can wrap up. If anybody has any last minute questions for Lake, dude, this was awesome. This was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, fun talk.
And I definitely learned a lot about you. And dude, yeah, I think it's I was comparing you to Danny, and I do think Danny is the best Ocarina of Time speedrunner of all time. Dude, I think you're getting there. I'm not kidding. No, because I don't know, dude. It's just so rare for someone else to have that kind of leaderboard coverage. So dude, you should be really happy. I mean, I think, I think a lot of people look up to you. It's really awesome what you've done in such a short amount of time. So yeah.
Thanks.
Congrats for sure. Low percent defeat Ganon. That'd be an interesting thing to run. Low percent. You get shoes, right? And then I don't even know, dude.
I haven't looked at that at all.
That's kind of any category or low percent stuff. It's oh yeah, you get shoes and then do other stuff. Yeah, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I think I can get my next long term goal is to get a world record. I want a world record. I've technically had the old dungeons SRM world record at some point, but that was when the route was changing a bunch, and I don't really count it for myself. I know it technically counts, but
would it mean a lot to you to get a world record in a major category?
Yeah, 100%. I would be stoked.
Dude, you're the most capable person to do it. I think. I mean, obviously, you can't really describe the work that you need to put in for world record.
Yeah, it's
a lot, and there's only one person that can have that. But yeah, man, you should go for it.
Yeah, I think I don't. So I want to get a world record, but I also don't want to rush anything. I don't like the fun. I don't want to kill the fun of the game trying to grind for a world record. I want to do it in the same way I've been improving all this time. And it showed no signs of stopping. I thought that at a certain point I would hit a wall where just me doing a bunch of different categories would be hard to improve in, but so far I still seem to improve at least a little bit every time I return to a category. So as long as that keeps working, it's the most fun for me to play the game. It's just a category hop over and over again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just get a world record in every category, I guess, at some point.
Do you think you're gonna are you gonna compete in the next Defeat Ganon tournament?
Maybe. It depends on a lot of factors, so I can't really say for sure.
Yeah.
Depends on my schedule for the weekend. Depends on how into Defeat Ganon I will be by then. Depends on a lot of.
Definitely check out what Dan posted something in. Signups are up, as Dan said. I think you can put what time slots you are like available in. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. I think we have a slightly better way of doing signups this time, so I need to sign
Okay.
up, and I'll check it out. But yeah, it's cool. And hey, I mean, you're you know, you're the prodigy. You don't even need to do us. Just just go into a run and no, but yeah, it was definitely a pleasure to have you last time. So but yeah, of course, like, if you have zero time during that weekend, then don't sign up. But for sure.
Yeah. I'll take a look. It depends on what my schedule is for the weekend, which I won't know till tomorrow or the next day or the next day. So, yeah, I'll take a look, and if I can, I probably will. So.
Sounds good. All right, so that is going to be it for Mind of the Streamer episode 8. I will just post the VOD on YouTube. It's been really nice to do some of these. Who would be a good person to have on next? I don't know.
Let's see.
Gotta think about someone.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
Choosing just one to spit out is
it's
hard.
tough, yeah, for sure. But I can think about it. But yo, Lake, thank you so much for doing this with me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I mean, I was one that asked you if you were interested in having me
Yeah,
on
the first
also.
person actually asked me, which was nice for once. Like, I didn't have to go around begging, so it was cool. All right, so I am gonna end the stream. Thank you guys for watching who decided to tune in. It's definitely a different stream for me because don't usually do these live, and I usually always am very engaged with chat. Obviously, with this kind of a stream, the circumstances are different. I did make a command for that in case anybody wanted to do exclamation point live, but it's all good. I think everyone kind of got the message. So I am gonna end stream. I will. I'm not gonna end the call with Lake just yet, just to kind of, not cut him off. But I am gonna end the stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all probably tomorrow with some Defeat Ganon and no SRM.